Hey guys, I'm Patrick. Today I've got something else to do on my PowerStroke. We're going to have to put a water pump on it. Seems like it's always something, at least the little stuff. Anyway, to get started off, get you some vice grips or hose pliers. Get those clamps off the upper radiator hose. Take that off. You'll need an 8mm socket to take off the fan shroud. So go ahead and unhook the radiator hose first. You won't be able to get the fan shroud off. Okay. There's just two 8mm bolts holding this in. Two 8mm, I don't know what I said. Okay guys, the size of the wrench you need for the nut on the clutch fan. Fan clutch, whatever, is a 1 7/8 inch. Okay. Now I heard that these things are annoying to get back on, so we'll see. Got lower radiator hose that's connected there to the bottom of the fan shroud. And down here on your pulley you've got 4 10mm bolts. And if those bolts don't want to come off like that, you can just get you a good old pair of vice grips, open them up, and lock it down. Unhook your temperature sensor. And also watch out because your CPS wire runs right down here. So so you do not want to rip that apart while you're doing this. I read people having nose starts after doing this. So. Now next you're going to need to remove your serpentine belt, and for that you'll need a 15mm socket and a large ratchet or breaker bar. Just take a 15mm socket, release the tensioner, just slowly let it back down. So make sure and go ahead and unhook the rest of your hoses right now. Make sure and get your lower radiator hose off. There goes all the coolant. Now the bolts on here are different sizes, so you can go ahead and take your pulley off. Now make sure to just unplug your cam position sensor, your CPS. Just unplug it and put the wire all the way back over here. I read where people pinch the wire with the water pump. Now look, it's just easier to do it like that right there. Now it's out of the way. You're not going to do anything at all to your wiring harness now. Here's the culprit. So the next thing you want to do is you want to get the gasket off of there. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll just take a picture. But anyway, you can see right here there's just a little bit of cavitation, not too much though. Okay, and you'll want to install your rubber gasket there on your water pump. Yeah, as you guessed, I'm using a used water pump. It's off my blocker out of my. Some of you all might have seen my white 97 PowerStroke, and this is the water pump out of it. Anyway, we're gonna put that in there. Alright, let's get that water pump on there. Make sure not to get your seal off your water pump. Sure, I don't really need to tell you that though. So now you want to hook your lower radiator hose back up. Next, you want to mount your pulley for your water pump. You know what? I've got a pretty much new idler pulley tensioner. So guess what? Let's just, since we're already over here, this one right here doesn't seem like it's too happy. Let's go ahead and put the pretty much new one on. It's only got about 10 or 12,000 miles on it, so. And to get the tensioner, you gotta get the pulley under it as well. Well, if you do that, now the replacement from stock is a little bit bigger, but it does what it's supposed to. And put your other pulley back on. This will take some work. That one's a much stiffer tensioner. Next, you want to make sure and tighten up the bolts on the water pump pulley before you get. get on with getting the fan blades back in the fan shroud. Okay, here I'm going to try and get a close-up of what I'm doing to tighten this up. You'll take a larger wrench, which this one's a little too large, but whatever, it was holding it working before. And you'll place the larger wrench over the 4 bolts that hold your pulley onto your water pump. And then you'll take the other wrench that's 1 7/8 inch, and you'll tighten up that nut on your clutch fan. And there you go. It's all done. All we gotta do now is put this radiator hose back on. All I got left here is to clamp down this radiator hose. I already did one side, didn't realize the camera wasn't pointed at it. Okay, so here I'm going to show you on a engine that's out of the truck exactly what it is you do to get the fan blade off, in case you've never done this before. Okay, so what you want to do is take the larger wrench, place it over the 4 bolts that hold the pulley to the water pump, and take your 1 7/8 inch wrench and place it here on the nut that holds the fan on. And then
I can't do the wrenches now. We're nervous running today.
Yeah. So anyway, after you've got your wrenches on there, just like any other bolt, you just turn it to the left to get it off of there. There we go, we got it.
Is it off?
It may come off. Yeah, it's coming off.
That's good. That's good.
just going to let you help me take the fan blades off.
Why?
How does that turn out? Now let's just start turning those blades for me, honey. I'm going to turn them that way. Yep. Keep turning.
Will my hands get all greasy?
They might get a little dirty.
No. Also, I'll still be able to have babies.
Well, honey, you'll be okay.
Well, we'll just have to wash my hands.
Yep.
Because it will be gross.
Now don't get too scared. It's going to drop off this thing in a minute. Just keep doing it. Daddy's got it.
I got a little dirty.
It's alright. Keep going. That thing will come off in a minute. Just keep turning it enough. Just use the one hand though.
That's kind of gross, isn't it?
Well, that's just the way things get after a while.
Yeah.
It won't be long till that's off there. So it's going to fall in a minute, so you just, don't worry, I got a hold of it.
So it won't hurt me, huh?
That's right.
If I do all by myself,
Hang on
it
a
will
second,
hurt
stop.
me. Ooh.
Yeah, you're just a little dirty.
I see something black on the
Alright,
ground.
keep turning it. There you go.
Silly. Now what should we do?
Now, honey, I'm going to show everybody what I was doing last night a little closer. Okay, so when you're at your water pump, you're going to have some 10mm bolts to get to. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can't see that, but there's 8 right up there next to the crank.
I have to wear gloves.
Yeah, and 9. So you've got 9 bolts that hold your water pump on.
Oh, there's one.
Yep. And then you also, before you can even get to those, you'll need to take these 4 10mm bolts. You'll need to take those off.
Without any gloves on?
However they want to do it. And then just remove that pulley, and you can get to those bolts. Now, if you've got a new pulley and stuff like that, I mean, you can take a swivel socket and get to these. And anyway, you can get these out with a swivel socket if you're not going to keep your old pulley. And anyway, this should just give you a clear view of what you got to deal with. I'm not seeing any leaks yet anyway.